Okay, let's see. Gabriel Esteban.
Okay.
Gabriel
Nice.
Gabriel
All right.
Ramon Esteban Gracia, born on born
You don't have
24th
to read.
March.
You don't have to
Wait,
read
they're
the
born.
whole article.
Oh, but they were born today. Born on March
Ah,
24th,
Whoa!
whoa!
1965,
Wow.
and
Crazy.
they were a Venezuelan basketball player. This party is balling already.
All right. So, welcome back to Hemlock. We're starting in on a new campaign. Now that the last one finished up, that took place in the summer of 3005, which was a few months after the war had come to a ceasefire. And now it's been over 2 years. We're in the waning days of 3007. In fact, we're 2 weeks away from the end of the year.
Oh, nice.
It's October 78th.
October 7th. What?
Because there is no November and December. October just lasts thrice as long.
What the f...
Damn. Well, so is Halloween still on October 31st?
Yeah.
This has come up before. This has been.
So no.
I didn't like this war, but
What about Thanksgiving?
There's no Thanksgiving.
Is there any other holiday?
I look
in
forward
there?
to seeing your next character, October, then,
no. See,
There are
that's the brilliance of it. November is like just a normal name. It's not like you're named after a month. That's stupid.
There are other holidays after the Halloween equivalent. Don't worry. But in any case, let's go ahead and go over a few things that have occurred in the past 2 years. So, after
Wait, sorry. Could I get the date one more time?
it's October 78th,
Thank
Well, the
you.
most important thing is
which is the equivalent of December 17th.
I hope people get paid in weekly wages instead of a monthly stipend.
oh no, the last month is rough on Hemlockians.
I like to imagine, yeah, it's every other month is normal, then October is just 3 times as long.
Yeah.
Oh, what if it's like a cultural thing of going into not a feast, but fucking not famine? No, not a famine, but
A drought?
when you don't eat.
No. Oh,
No,
fast.
when you don't eat. Yeah, fast. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
all our other months are normal, then February is short for some reason. Like, you know.
Yeah,
Oh,
February
Neo,
is
it's
just
February-
5 days. Occasionally there
February-
are 6 days.
Okay, so in the past 2 years, a few developments have happened. One, after a snafu, an incident at the negotiations being held in the Emberwell Conference, as it has come to be known,
The war started again.
Much worse.
there was a big hullabaloo back in Kansas after one of their noblemen had just basically gone rogue and decided to pose as a diplomat going there to do something heinous. And the embarrassment from that incident caused Kansas to finally come to the table,
Way. Hopefully. Good.
where the war negotiations kept on for a couple of months until finally agreements were met and the war was officially over. Now, what happened after this was that Tarrant had decided to go back to being an independent city, but a bit more open to the outside world. Not as strict with its borders anymore. And that left the League in a very odd position of having only 2 cities in it, Larimer and Kansas. And so the League slowly just sort of faded into not really being a thing anymore. But with Kansas and Larimer still having relations with each other. though now technically being independent cities.
So they didn't join the Confederacy or anything. They're just
No.
independent.
No.
Gotcha.
And everyone committed to just sort of rebuilding around the areas where the war had really torn things apart. And this is especially good for the Northern Theater, this whole area over here, because it had been especially hit. It had been especially hit by the massive fighting, and it's also good for the Emerald Forest as well, which had been caught in the middle of it all. So the rebuilding efforts will last quite a few years, but we're now like 2 years into that. The war is over. Good strides have been made in rebuilding, and now we pick up on a new story that starts in Osprey. So, something is about to happen that will bring some people together over in Leisure Square. But before something happens to call your attention, let's go over your characters. Lydian Minther. Who are you and why are you here?
Lydian Minther is a travelling merchant slash holy man belonging to the cult of Midas, worshippers of coin. I jokingly put him down as an economage, but basically they are travelling businessmen with a divine hookup to a god who tries to guide them to the best deals to make the best moves. They anoint coin, and that allows the heads of the church to kind of track their progress, track where they're going, and spread God around in coin form. He is originally from the Emerald Forest, but left at an early age because he was always drawn to travel. He tended to a wounded travelling merchant in his youth who filled his head with stories of great travels and great riches, and being a kind of industrious child, he wanted that life for himself. Left for Emberwell soon as he could, as soon as he was 18, 19, and he got ripped off left, right, and centre. He had no worldly knowledge. He had no idea how the wider world worked. Fell into getting conned, and then eventually tried to become the con man. Got busted, spent a few years in prison, got out, stumbled into what he thought was a business seminar by a guy called Midas, the god of coin, thinking maybe he'd get a tip or two. Turned out it was an actual, very small cult, and he became an acolyte, and they sort of raised him up, trained him how to run a few businesses, and he's now in his late 30s. He's been there for maybe a decade or more at that point.
He's been in his late 30s for
He's
a decade
been
or
in
more.
the cult for about that
Yeah.
long. He's been in the cult for about 10 years. And so when the heads of the church, when the heads of the cult were like, oh, we need to kind of get the lay of the land and make inroads elsewhere, he was kind of first in line to pay a little tithe and request that he go on pilgrimage. He still has to run bits and pieces of his businesses, mostly through correspondence, but yeah, he is now out on his travels out in the world, looking for opportunities and kind of trying to capture that story that he was told as a kid. The tales that he was filled with, of like going on great travels and finding, great wealth out there in the world.
Yeah. And so, wandering Leisure Square in Osprey, like, what's he doing? Like this pretty. Is this like his first stop in his pilgrimage?
Remind me again, Osprey. Can we just go to the thingy map again? I just want to see where Osprey is along the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, Osprey is the banking town. So
Yeah.
he probably would have passed by Larimer. He probably would have got either hopped with a caravan or got some guards to paid for some security to get him down from Emberwell. So yeah, this is probably one of the first stop-offs along his journey, and he's maybe finding his feet. Maybe he's putting his ears to the ground, looking for guidance, looking for opportunities.
Alrighty. Now then, Nico, Tester. What's your story? Why are you here? Swede.
Swede?
I had forgot I muted my mic because I was typing.
Mood,
Right,
yeah.
so Nico Tester, what's your story and why are you here in Osprey's Leisure Square?
Why? For science, of course! Okay, what the fuck? Oh, that's one. Yeah, but yeah. Nico Tester, Emberwellian prodigy. Okay, just, so, Nico is originally from Emberwell. And they're smart. Way smarter than you. In fact, Nico has already graduated university. That's-
Wow, so have I, Swede.
What? Nico did it younger than you. They did it in their teens.
Wow.
But basically, for Nico, science is everything. But they realize a problem with Emberwell. There's too much in the way of science. There's too lacking. There's not enough new science. So, Nico decided to take things into their own hands and go out in the world and to learn more about the world and more about science. Just the whole world is their field testing area. Just
Right.
everything. So they're here in Osprey, they've just been traveling. And ended up here. Not been in this town before, but it takes a while. Took a while to get here.
Right. And so you're just heading around the Leisure Square then. Just
Exactly.
sort of seeing what there is to see. All right.
And
finally-
informing everyone, actually, yeah, just showing off, I guess. Science.
All right. Cool. And finally, Cherry.
Yes.
What's your story? Why are you here?
So Cherry, she is a goza. She is a blind traveling musician performer. She's almost more like the role has expanded over the years. She's almost more like a traveling Cortessan or something like that. She travels, both enjoying the hospitality to strangers and providing hospitality, music, storytelling, those are her bread and butter, but also, like setting up camp, cooking, performing, like she can juggle and stuff like that, all of that sort of thing. And she's been traveling around, all her life, as did her mother and her mother before her and her mother before her, going back about 300 years. She's been to Hemlock once before. As a teenager, she traveled here with her mother, who was, blind like her and similarly gifted with music and the like. And now she is traveling Hemlock. She just arrived in Hemlock recently. She's going on one last trip here before her. She has something to do in another country sometime in, relatively early next year. Still several months away, but this is her, last big adventure to do before that. So she recently arrived here, and I don't even know if she's entirely, didn't even realize, had no plan for where she was going. Probably arrived in Seneca, and just, talking to random strangers, wound up on sort of, just wound up joining a caravan, wound up this city, and she liked the sound of Leisure Square. So, asking where was the nicest part of town to visit, that's where she wound up.
Alrighty. So, as you're all going about your business in Leisure Square, unbeknownst to each other, something happens that will draw your attention. Namely, you all hear someone cry out, "What? What happened?"
Oh, Cherry's an eavesdropper. She's, her ears are wide open.
Oh, Nico hears this and is like, oh, something I don't know happened.
Lydian is observing.
Right. So, there's a few people gathered around someone who's on his hands and knees, looking at a just sort of empty lot of land, and one of the onlookers goes, "Wasn't there a tavern here?" And then the guy on the ground goes, "There was my tavern that I owned. How is it gone?" There's
You
no
made
demolition. There's been no demolition. There's been no. It's just gone.
Yeah, okay, Lydian is approaching this. This sounds bizarre.
Yeah, no, Cherry is immediately there's a story to tell here. You know,
Oh
the
yeah.
tale of the vanishing tavern. That'll be a good one.
Oh, actually, Nico you just hear Nico. Pardon me, excuse me. No, actually, Nico doesn't even say that. Just shoves people aside. Nico just runs over to where the house was. And Nico is gonna instantly roll. Like he's just shoving even the guy who's grieving at the loss of his house.
But so you shove past the guy who's like on the ground, like wondering.
Oh yeah, but yeah, you know, Nico is short.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
That's how he excuses all of his misdeeds and rude behavior. Oh no!
Oh,
It's okay. It's okay. He's short. It's fine.
He couldn't hear you down there. It's
You don't understand. I'm short. It's very understandable once you factor that into the equation that I'm actually short. You see?
No, I imagine like Nico just. But yeah, Nico. You know,
I have a
You
question.
Yeah.
A question. Who's taller, Nico or O'Malley?
it's Nico by a hair or something like that.
by a hair.
Not by a hair, but Nico is taller. But yeah, Nico is gonna roll discern realities.
Alrighty. I'll roll your discern realities. All right, you get to ask a question.
My word, he's just so fascinating. Okay, what here is useful or valuable to me? Is there any traces of what could have happened? Any residue of any like magics, fiends, ghosts?
Wouldn't that be what happened here recently?
Oh, I meant in like anything useful or valuable to me is like useful things for the case.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, like things that are like
Yeah.
A clue.
There are
Clue.
trace amounts of dust that are kind of sparkling. They're kind of sparkle, and they don't fit in with the rest of the natural dust that would be around here.
oh I thought because I want to do something. I have a move for this called "Let Me See That." When you take a moment to handle or examine something interesting, what does this? Actually, wait. We made. Oh no, that's it. More for things. I don't know. Nico.
Yeah.
Like
guy
for
just-
gadgets, gizmos.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say I have an in the meantime for this.
Okay.
Just as Nico, shoves past the guy, Cherry does go up and, like, what is he, like, sort of down on his hands and knees or something? Or is he just...
Yeah.
Yeah. He, like, goes and kneels down, puts a hand on his back, is, like, trying to comfort him, like, I'm so sorry, sir, what happened?
My building, my business is just. It's just gone.
I think at this point, like, Lydian kind of bumbles through the crowd. He's a bigger man, so he kind of strides through. And when's the last time you been to your business?
Well, last night.
You made any enemies?
None that I can think of. How is it
Well-
just gone?
Would there have been anyone in the building?
No, this last call happened and everyone went home.
Any peculiar customers last night?
He's trying to think to himself. Well, there's just one person who came in and didn't order anything, just sort of looked around like it was a library, but he wandered out. I assumed he was drunk from another pub.
A mysterious stranger. Interesting. And then Sherry, turns to the crowd, calls out, like does a little clap to gather people's attention. Excuse me, did anyone see this building before? This morning. Did anyone see what happened here?
Yeah, most people are just kind of murmuring and just kind of shrugging. No one really has seen anything.
I do have a cheeky question, but, well, basically, I have two moves that are kind of start of session thing.
Yeah.
Well, one of them is Entrepreneur. When you have downtime or at the beginning of a session, choose up to 3 of your ventures and roll charisma on a blah, blah, blah. But also, I've got spells. Should I just not have communed yet, technically? So, I don't know. Because, one is...
I feel you've communed at the start of a session, though,
You
Jim.
could have
Yeah.
communed. Yeah,
Okay, well, I should have done this earlier, because my choices of what spells to take are going to be very convenient, but... I think, well, for now, I'm just going to have Detect Magic and Detect Alignment.
Alrighty.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna...
Businesses we'll maybe get to later.
Okay. Yeah, Entrepreneur we'll get to later, but, I'm actually gonna cast a miraculous spell.
Oh.
So this, on a +10, the spell is cast in diversion. So I'm gonna cast Detect Magic. One of your senses is briefly attuned to magic. The GM will tell you what here is magical, and it will just be sight to start with. Alright, 7 on a 7. I'm gonna say...
That was the exact same roll.
Yeah.
And on the same stat, too.
I'm gonna say spell is revoked for now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't have access. But yeah, just kind of hearing that story, Lydian is gonna, it's magic, bloody hell. Lydian, his eyes kind of glow with a silvery light, and he looks upon the building, or where it ought to be.
Right. So, you see sort of highlighted. There are like just bits of dust around, and there's some of it collected within the palms of the person of diminishing stature who had shoved through to scoop some of it up.
My word! Actually, Neil. Actually, we do know, but one of just for flavor's sake, can Nico spout lore on this? See if they know.
Sure.
My word!
That's pixie dust. Which
My word!
would be pretty hard to. It can come from either. It can come from fairies from either the realm of madness or from fairies who are just, or notably from fairies in the Emerald Forest.
Yeah. No, Nico's understanding this, telling someone, your house has been abducted by pixies!
That's quite the statement.
Well, that might explain the dust.
Well, yes, of course. As I deduced, this dust is in fact pixie dust. And what do pixies know?
They know magic.
Yeah,
Who?
magics.
I want to do my spout lore now.
All right.
Okay,
When
random
you spout lore, if you tell us about a tale, song, or legend featuring the subject at hand, roll charisma instead of int. So if I know any tales or stories or fairy tales or legends about, fairies and disappearing locations or buildings.
My word, science.
So
That does not
you
seem like
know,
science.
tell of a tale where uh, there are tales of there are these groups of pixies that would occasionally prank people in our realm by just by just making shit pop into the realm of madness.
I see. Ah, like I don't know,
The prankster.
trickster fairies, the prankster fairies of insert noun.
Yeah.
I can't come up with names on the spot like that.
Lydian is going to put his hand on the man's shoulder. Pixie dust, pixie dust. Why, sir, what you have suffered is very unlucky, but I'm here beside you, and that is very lucky. How about this? I'll help you get your business back from these pixies. That's pixie dust, it's pixies who've taken it. Pixies can be strange, chaotic creatures, very dangerous, very hard to read, but I can read people. I get you your business back, give me 10% of it, and it'll be back no time flat.
Oh, that's fun.
Ooh. Yeah. He thinks about that. It's like 10% of the business, but
It's not,
well,
sir, you'll be getting back 100% of your business. I'll just be within 10% of it, and I will raise it beyond that. Think of it in terms of what I can do for your business beyond that. I'll get you back more than just your tavern. I'll advise it. I'll get more customers in, more people in. So really, you're getting more than 100% back. You don't even have to weigh up my 10% with that original estimation.
He's gonna turn it into a TGI Fridays.
who exactly are you?
My name is Lydian Mintha.
Cherry, as he says that, like, Cherry sort of, almost subconsciously, like, subtle, just blends into the moment. It adds a little musical sting to that.
Lydian does not argue. He just kind of
Yeah.
poses along with it.
It flows naturally into the scene. You almost wouldn't notice that there was it's
Sir, I've just started traveling these lands looking for business opportunities, but what you have right in front of you now is an opportunity, and that is me.
All right. He just looks around and just says, "Well, I know the guards are already swamped and they're going to be stumped with this, so well, Hail Mary, I guess."
While they're stumped, let me grow a tree.
Hey.
holy shit, he's so
Oh,
good.
man.
I fucking love Lydian so much already.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
he
Like, I
offers-
was enjoying him a lot, then holy shit, that line just mwah. Oh my god.
Yeah, he shakes your hand and gets to his feet.
10%?
All right. 10% if you can get that back.
Alright, Lydian pulls out a bit of paper. So, I'm gonna cast a miraculous spell.
All right.
Actually, do you have to do this on rotes? Yeah, I think you do. I imagine you do.
Yeah, I think Rotes you still have to roll for it, but you don't have to prepare it or anything. It's
Okay,
free,
yeah.
you just always have it. As I
Yeah.
recall from Ariana.
So,
That's ominous that Lydian is the same class as what Ariana became.
Oh no. He probably won't kill as many. Well, actually, maybe in the long term he might kill as many people. It depends on what businesses we really
That
get
would
into.
that would be
Impressive.
impressive businesses.
Yeah. So,
Also, speaking of impressive, sorry, I just want to point out, for literally all three characters, our first roll was a 5 and a 1.
huh. That's
What?
portentous, because that just
Yeah.
equals a 6.
666! Holy shit!
Oh god, we're gonna be evil. Okay, great. So, I just contract. When you signed a contract you have cast this spell upon, you are mystically notified if the other party breaks it. So that doesn't matter right now, but he is just signing over 10%
Yeah.
of the business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lydian kind of goes over it and writes his name down and he hands it to... What's your name, sir?
My name is Harry Manette.
Harry Manette. Well, we're gonna do great things together, but first I gotta get you back your bar.
All right. Well, if you can do it, then you've got that contract.
I hope Lydian's plan is
Is
to
that how
just
it's
use
spelled?
his, like, builder company, you know, find out exactly what the tavern was like and just have it rebuilt to exact specification, then be like, I found your business! Please give
No,
me my
no,
10%
no.
now.
Hey,
No,
wait, good point. I can. Well, if all else fails, thank you for
No,
the.
he'll build it.
solution.
No, Lydia. I think Lydia would be shrewd and like build it cheaper.
Maybe. He'll
Yeah,
have to
just
go
have
and,
it.
he'll
But
just
no,
go
but
to
because
six.
if he gets residuals on the 10%, you know, he wants it to be. Like, he might cheap out on some things, but it wouldn't be like falling apart, you know? He
Oh
needs
no,
it to.
that would be stupid.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Lydian kind of turns to Cherry. You know stuff about what you know about pixies?
One of my ancestors left our realm to live with him.
Think that family connection might come in handy?
It might.
One in on the 10%.
Fairies tend to appreciate a good story, a nice song.
One in on the 10%.
There's like, you know, through her blindfolded eyes, there's like a little glint. Absolutely.
Well, then come with me.
Suddenly, Nico walks over. Excuse me.
Excuse you?
You were going after the pixies, were you not?
That I am. I was about to ask you the same.
Ah, yes. Well, as you can see, pixie dust is quite rare, and you know, pixie dust could always be useful for scientific endeavors. So yes, I am willing to find the old man's house. And besides, I am most curious what kind of magics and science they use to teleport a whole building.
So,
He is the one who found the pixie dust.
oh well. I mean, he was in the moment he wasn't asking for part of the 10%.
By the way, Nico Tester, scientist.
Oh, Lydian Mintha.
Yes, we heard your name.
Yes.
And what about you, miss?
They call me Cherry, but for any contracts, my name is Sakura.
I
Sakura,
see.
well, which do you prefer?
Most people call me Cherry.
That wasn't an answer of preference, but Cherry it is, I suppose.
Yes, very well. Test subject 3321 and subject 3323.
Excuse
You
me?
are a little character.
Very little.
Anyway, we have enough small.
Very little. I feel like this is the most all three of us have done a voice for the character.
Yeah,
in the
no, this has
same-
been the most voice of a fuck out the
Yeah.
gate.
I like it so far, though.
I feel like this voice is gonna get very grating for others.
No, I love it. I think you found like a really good
Yeah, no, that's a
natural
good one.
balance for it. It's good.
Anyways,
This is a lot better than Sweet's like leprechaun voice or something. You know, I'm grateful. Like,
oh,
I think if that was a character, I would kill myself and then Sweet. But no, this works.
and so basically, I could never go to New York.
Oh God.
So let's.
Hopefully, I feel like Felina's voice was like, you know, if a character's voice is too subtle, it's easy to fall out of it. But there's like a balance where you don't want it to be too cartoonish, but when it's enough of a voice, it's easier to like remember to stay in that voice or speak in that voice.
Well, it's tricky for me
Actually-
because I talked about needing to do trigger phrases to start a voice, like it's starting an
Yeah.
engine. So with Lydian, there's always like a fear when I start talking is like, shit, am I actually going to be in the voice when I start talking or not?
Actually, you know, I just remembered something. So, you know, as you know, you make that short comment, there's a bit of a silence, and then Nico.
He just does he just raise a bit on fucking boots or whatever?
No, he activates. Nico activates the hover boots.
Oh,
I thought Nico was going to like activate his saw blades, just cut Lydian down so he's the same height now.
You see a kind of
He
look
uses
at
his
you.
shrink ray.
You do see another kind of you see, yeah, a wee twinkle in Lydian's eye seeing that, but his face is he's impressed for a moment and he says, "My word, now he's just as short higher up."
Yeah, anyways, we have pixies to find. Also, this is the
For
sound
the
effect.
record, I didn't mean anything by saying little character. I can't tell how tall you are.
But
What he
by the way,
doesn't.
this is the sound that the boots make as they go up.
Are you blind,
Yeah.
Missy?
Oh, that's... This Cherry sort of pauses, angling her head, with the blindfold. Last time I checked.
Blindfold don't mean nothing in a world of magic, but just to confirm,
Subject
people have other
312.
ways of seeing.
Retinas destroyed.
No, Cherry, kind of perks her head a bit to the side at that comment from Lydian. That is true.
And I suspect you have your own ways.
Oh no, that means I use that charge just for RP purposes. I'm great.
Yeah.
I don't know if you use the charge for that. I feel like just kind of using it under no duress
Okay,
is
that's
fine.
fine.
Yeah, I
From what
agree with that.
From what I remember with how we played it with wow, what was your
Barnaby.
name? Barnaby, yeah. Like there were like certain inventions that could just kind of
Yeah.
had an active passive effect and it was fine.
Well, Barnaby's problem in the end was that he was a everything character.
Yeah.
I appreciate, though, that, we see these miraculous hover boots, and Lydian's like, ooh, sees the potential in these, but they're not used for traversing things, or, it's just, oh, I'm taller now, and just, oh, I can market this. Boots that make you taller, genius.
Easier than
Yes.
getting fucking, surgery to make your legs long. Do you remember when that was going around?
Oh
Fucking,
no, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
I
shin
do.
extension surgery shit.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wear high heels. Come on. You can get, 10-inch platforms easy peasy.
You maybe
Wow.
get some of those boots that have goldfish in the heel.
Yeah.
well, I see you are impressed by my invention, the magnetic propulsion boots.
Well, yes. You can take him up, but I can bring him to new heights if you give me enough time with him.
I doubt your mind could improve these.
I can
So you're a
improve him
shoemaker.
No, I am a scientist.
Or a
That's-
cobbler, I suppose,
that-
is
that's-
the term.
SCIENT. Scientist.
Did you decide to
Could you
save
spell
time
that
on
in
those-
Braille for me?
Certainly.
My braille generator.
Dot.
No, I immediately like this chemistry of him just totally not picking up on no, this is great. Nico's great. It's early in. I like this party a lot so far.
I like it. Alright.
Yeah.
Shall we go find those pixies then?
Yeah, affirmative. We've already wasted precious seconds.
Yeah, Lydian kind of turns. He turns back to Harry. Alright then, Harry. Well, I'll try and have you your bar back by happy hour. That'll be to both of our benefits.
All right. Well, good luck.
Alright, so, what do you know? So yeah, he kind of turns back to Nico. You know your way around pixies? You got a sample there? Anywhere you can maybe take us to the realms of madness or wherever
at
these
last-
fairies might roam? They might be up in the
Sadly, I don't
forest.
have a tracking device, though. Surely there's a... No. No, I would not say I have a place to the realm of madness, no. There.
Well, we'll figure something out in no time flat. Let's go rack our brains a little.
Ooh, can I do another spout lore for how to get to the realm of madness or get in, touch with someone who could get us there with my bardic lore, with the stories and everything.
Sure.
I mean, we should probably do a little bit more experimentation with this dust first, but Lydian.
Oh yeah,
okay.
no.
Yeah,
By all
but-
means. But just like for Cherry, this would be. I feel if Cherry knows a story that involves details on,
Yeah,
the realm of madness and how to get there or get in touch with fairies, this would be when she would bring that up organically.
So, yeah, there's a tale of someone who. There's a tale of someone on the run that you've heard before. A tale of someone escaping undue persecution, who managed to who hid himself so well that he managed to hop into another dimension. That dimension being the realm of madness, which he achieved by just holding on to, by just finding a pixie and holding on to them.
Interesting. So, on a 10 plus, I may also ask the GM any one question about the subject, which the GM must answer truthfully. Was he able to get back?
He was.
Nice. Cool. So Cherry says, well, in the story, she tells the gist of the tale about a man on the run who escapes our realm by holding on to a pixie and not letting go. So I suppose we would just need to find a pixie.
Well, that was always part of the plan, but are my senses still attuned to magic?
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, Lydian he takes that answer and he's like, well, why don't we see if they left a little breadcrumb trail? Or a dust trail, as the case may be. And yeah, he's going to go back to the kind of empty lot, and he's examining the dust, and is it kind of left around in any pattern? Is it just random, or does it maybe trail off at a certain point in any direction?
Sort of circled around the lot, and then sort of like there are patches of it heading off in a direction heading that quickly sort of disappears into an alleyway.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what, too? Like, I want to, just, like, take a... How, like, dense are there, like, little piles or dustings of this fairy dust, or is it more sparse than that?
It's more sparse than that.
Okay, never mind.
You'd have to, gather it up.
Gotcha.
I think, yeah, for now, Lydian's just following. Well, it leads into this here alleyway. Because Lydian, it looks magical to Lydian at the moment. He's attuned to magical sources, so that's kind of what he's going on.
Yeah.
Alleyways on.
Jerry does point out, like, that is valuable stuff.
Well, that's a good point. But for now, we're following it, and it doesn't look like people are partaking of the pixie dust.
Yes.
Right now, it seems a bit more valuable to me as a trail than in my pockets.
The shame Nico doesn't have some sort of vacuum to vacuum up the dust to bag and sell.
No, Nico has just actually been on the ground, just kind of scooping it up in like vials.
And besides, I think that man doesn't have money in mind as he gathers it.
Scientist!
That just means he's not interested in, getting cut in on the profit margin.
Oh no, I sensed that the moment he went on that ramble about scientific materials. Why'd you think I offered to cut you in on the 10% and just let him come along?
You
Smart.
over there!
Me over here?
Yes, you. So you are attuned to magic, say?
Of a kind.
I see. Test subject 311. Magic, elf. I see.
I think everyone is attuned to some sort of magic in their own special way.
Only magic I'm attuned to is science.
Well,
That is a
there you
magic
go.
of a kind.
No, it's not. It's science.
You called it magic earlier today. Earlier this hour, as a matter of fact. You were equivocal about the two.
Approximately 7.5 minutes ago. That's gonna be such a fucking slam dunk if I look back in the recording and that's how long it's been. I think that's not enough time, but like, just Hail Married on that one.
Like
Whatever,
Lydian kind of cocks his head at the little scientist and goes, "I'll tell you this, Nico. Your mouth moves faster than your mind, and your mind seems to be moving a mile a minute. So, how about you calm it down for a moment, follow along with these pixies, and there'll be plenty more dust where this comes from."
Calm down. My mind cannot calm down when there's science afoot.
Well, it looks like there's magic afoot, so maybe dial it in a little, and we can get to the science later. Okay?
Whatever. Let's find these pixies so
Let's.
we can get back that establishment.
That's a good idea.
You do seem rather tense. You should try and relax more. Being so on all the time is bad for your heart.
This is the leisure center. There's probably somewhere around here you could get a massage or something else to take your mind off things for 5 seconds, but kind of need him on top right now.
If I wanted to relax, I'd solve the equations.
All right. Well, first let's get into this alleyway, and maybe there'll be some equations in there, or rats.
How old is Nico again?
And Nico is... Nah, they're like 19.
Oh god.
Oh, wow.
How old is Cherry again? Because she was mid-30s, wasn't she?
Yeah, mid to late 30s, yeah. She's 36. Going on
Lydian,
37.
Or maybe
Lydian's-
20. Maybe.
Lydian is 38 or 37. I think it was 37. I can't remember which. It was one
Yeah.
of those two.
But so they're like right at the same age,
37.
basically. And then
Yeah.
this is so like immediately the like found family dynamic of just like this little awful child gremlin.
Lydian's gonna buy him a fucking chemistry set for his birthday. And he's
Again,
gonna say, "Don't patronize me, Dad."
how dare you? This is for junior grade.
Like, fucking Lydian wakes up the next morning and has a pipe bomb. He's like, "How'd you like this chemistry?"
Cherry feels like he's not socializing enough, keeps on trying to set Nico up on play dates with other little weirdos.
Oh no, gotta find my Mandork.
So you come into this alleyway,
Yes.
and you see the trail kind of stops there, and you do see there is a homeless man sleeping underneath some like with like a blanket of newspapers, whose eyes are like dilated, and he's just looking up at the sky.
What do the funny papers say in the newspaper?
Yeah, let's look right
You
past
can't
him.
read them.
Oh wait,
That's true. I can't. You're right. I needed someone to make the joke.
well, you
But-
see,
oh no, I won't do that yet.
well, Nico obviously goes and grabs one newspaper because there's fairy dust on it. Reads the funnies. My word, that's it.
And
An
then
oddly
Nico just sees this person sleeping and immediately just like grabs the newspaper blankets away to inspect this.
I think
My word, that is a depressing episode of Family Circus.
We said the thing.
he did it. He said Lydian kind of wobbles over to the guy, kind of crouches down before.
Wobbles?
He's a big man, so
I don't know,
He does walk with a bit of that kind of big man kind of paunch
Yeah.
about him.
Oh no, the way you said wobble, I just in my head I imagine fucking Penguin from Batman.
He kind of crouches down, like lightly grabs the guy by the shoulder. Sir, are you in there, sir?
Actually,
I'm in. I am so in.
Where's in, sir?
It's
Hey,
in here. He points at his head.
Neo, can I spout lore to see if he's actually high? Like if I recognize these symptoms.
Sure.
I don't think Nico's cool enough to recognize someone being high. I don't know.
He
no,
understands
Nico-
it from a scientific perspective when he ran those PCP trials on the
Oh,
Emberwellian army.
With the dilated eyes, the way he's like moving, he's sort of like jittery. He is
On
not only
pixie
is he
dust.
high, not only is he high on pixie dust, he is high on what must have been a dangerous amount of pixie dust.
Oh.
Nico just points. That man is about to die from pixie dust inhalation.
It's that serious?
Yes.
Well,
Alright, you know, Cherry immediately, like, kneels down next to the man and, you know, sort of, like, puts her hand to his head, you know, feels his temperature, and says, you know, it's alright, you can calm down. Here, just listen. And I am going to use my arcane art. Through music, you can channel great magics. When you perform a magical melody, roll charisma. So Cherry, yeah, you know, is going to sit down next to him and start playing her shamisen and, you know, sort of humming a wordless melody. And it's like, immediately, this doesn't sound like normal music. Like, there is something, you know, there is a reverb and almost electrical quality to it that doesn't sound like anything a natural instrument should be able to produce.
She's actually just playing Eurobeat.
Cool. Okay. So choose two. One, your tune does not draw attention to you or your bolstered ally, and mind is cleared of enchantment or fear.
Right. Yeah. He's like been vibrating this whole time, and then he just sort of like slowly like starts to like calm. He was like a little bit hyperventilating, and now he's not. He starts to breathe a little slower, and then he just blinks, and his pupils aren't quite as dilated anymore. And it
My
looks
head.
at you.
Wow.
And after done, Cherry turns to Nico and says, "See, I told you, relaxation does wonders for you."
My word.
Those wondrous vibrations have ceased his.
The good vibrations. Wondrous Vibrations is a good name.
It could be
Or
the
something.
traveling
I don't
band
know.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, the man just sort of like looks around like, "Oh wow."
Sir, you have
got a bunch of
consumed a
people
dangerous
showing
amount of
up.
pixie dust. Are there any pixies about here?
Oh, I saw a few last night.
Last night.
Oh, well, really early in the morning, but it was still dark out.
Mind you tell us where they went?
Well, they were with a guy, and
guy?
they sort of, yeah, a guy. They kind of just lifted him up, like to float up onto the roof. And when they saw me, they just gave me a bunch of blow and said, "Hey, just forget about it."
I thank you for not doing that.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess I kind of thought I would forget about it, but then that lovely song played.
That lovely song might
thank
just
you.
have saved your life.
Oh,
Music is powerful.
That indeed it is. I've learned that today.
I feel like this is the most like two characters have immediately gotten along in any
Yeah.
party.
I'm not even sure what to think of how Lydian is getting along at this point. Like,
It's just like I thought they would get along, but this is like way better than I
Yeah.
thought. They just instantly are like, "Oh no, yeah, I totally buy that these two would be." I appreciate too just like something about this part I think is this is like maybe the most just like all three people have been immediately sees the situation just oh boom I'm getting right in the middle of that, you know, let's go, just
everyone
like
forcefully like, no, we are. I've got something to gain here. I've got something
Yeah.
here. All right, so they took him up to the rooftops, you say?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I am
Yeah.
not good with heights. But, all right, let's do this.
Not good with heights.
You saw how I walked over to this gentleman. You really think I'm too comfortable being up on a rooftop?
I suppose. They've never bothered me, but then I guess I'm at an advantage there.
I like a balcony, something with chair and arrangements, somewhere to sit down, have a nice drink, but just an old communal rooftop, just an old regular rooftop, that don't really do nothing for me other than, I don't know, put the fear in me a little.
I laugh in the
I
day.
suppose. And for
Actually,
the record, I didn't see you walk over there.
Oh, my
actually,
apologies.
you know what? While they're talking, Nico is just slowly drifting upwards.
Oh yeah, we hear the sound effect. Mind reporting what you see up there, or are we not important enough to know?
Now, I will report my findings after I filed the proper report.
May you do it verbally.
Nay.
Maybe we should just go join him up there. I'm sure there's a lovely view.
That there might be.
Well, Nico, comes up and like, by the way, Nico is as they're floating up. They are like standing in like a pose, hands behind their back.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah. What does Nico see as when they come up there?
So they see a sort of you see this sort of it looks like just sort of a normal roof, but you can see well, actually, I guess you should discern realities.
Ah, yes. To use my superior intelligence to discern it. Wait, that's wisdom, but my superior wisdom.
He's so smart. He's so clever.
Whoa, whoa. I like how we started on all those reds ones, and now look at all these sixes just rolling in.
Okay, so let's see now. What happened here recently?
So looking at the rooftop, you can see that someone was definitely walking along them. Like there's sort of like because there's sort of like puddles and stuff. Let's say it was raining the other. Let's say it was raining the other night. You can make out sort of damp footprints up on the rooftops.
I see. Let's see now. What here is useful or valuable to me? Like, is there any useful clues? Like, besides those puddles, it's like, are there traces of fairy dust here? Are there more homeless men being high?
Useful or valuable to you. So I guess what you discern is that sort of going onto the building top itself, there is yet another like it looks like at the edge of the building there's more concentrated pixie dust.
My word. Okay. You have to. And what here is not what it appears to be. I think would work. Yes.
What here is not what it appears to be.
Or maybe actually. What should I be on the lookout for? Maybe.
You should be on the lookout for. You get the sense that like these clumps of pixie dust are probably like gonna be recurring across these rooftops.
I see. And Nico just quickly writes everything down. My word, this data.
Data.
Anyways, what are the other two like climbing up?
I
or...
think, yeah. How do we get up to the rooftop ourselves? I guess because I think Lydian's first response would be to, if there's just a stairwell up, take it. If he has to go through the building, you know.
You just go inside the shopping center and you just ask for roof access, and they give it to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Jerry's persuasive.
Yeah. Okay.
Lydian, I'm sure, is as well.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to point something out. You mentioned it had been raining. Would it have been snowing? You know, we're kind of up north. It's late December.
Yeah, sure, actually, yeah.
And, you know, footprints in snow are more likely
Yeah,
than
yeah,
footprints
yeah.
in rain.
Yeah. So there's some snow on the rooftops, and that's where you saw the footprints.